Hi, Nige back here again, and we've got another inbox review for you today, and we're going to be looking at Eduard's 1/72 tail of Iwojima, which is basically two P-51Ds in 72nd. Love that box art, escorting the B-29s on the way to on a bombing mission. With this kit we get the etch, we get max, and we get markings for 12 options. So what we'll do, we'll go over onto Hell Red and we'll get cracking. So normal fare for Eduard's limited edition, you get a really chunky manual, again with the box art. Open it up, we have all the parts. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, but doubled up for the two kits. We have some masks and we have some photo etch. So starting with the cockpit as normal, putting the seat together with the photo etch harnesses, the radio going over the top of the tank, control stick going on, and then adding that to the actual cockpit floor. And on the bottom, making sure that you paint the other side, because that's going to be the top of the actual wheel well. We have then got some sidewalls going on. We've got the tail wheel housing going in. We've got the radiator fan, another sidewall part going in. The radiator going in. And it shows you how to actually line it up. Before we move to the joining the wing halves together with the tail, whether it's going to be a fillet or not. So with this one, it will be, by the looks of it, they're all got the markings with the filleted tail. Also, the earlier Ds, they didn't have that fillet, so I wonder if there are earlier markings either planned or already come out. We've then got wheel wells going together, as you can see. Now be aware that some of this parts will be chrome yellow and some will be fine silver. We've then got the wheel bay going on with the wings going in, remembering if you've got a bomb rack, okay, to be able to drill out some parts, and you'll see you've got some markings that you need to do that. Same with the back ones, so making sure you drill them out. So it says no, create a rectangle shape. I'm just trying to see where actually that is on the thing, and I'm not 100% certain. So yeah, so be aware of that, just take care. And then you've got a bit of PE, okay, to add. So this bit here, it's to add another panel. So you can see the over here, you fill those ones, and what you do, you put that bit of photo etch over the top of it there, okay, and this little lip there, and then what you do, you score around it, and that gives you another panel. Then we've got the weapons going in, I think the 50 cals, control surfaces, joining everything up to the fuselage. Tail planes going on, another template look to add another panel just there. I missed out the actual cockpit panels going on, and you can see we've got another bit of photo etch that goes into those parts, and they're again only for certain markings. We've got the Conan instrument panel going in. Another scribing template look, okay, for the rear of the aircraft. Conan going on. We've got a picture there how it should stand. Tail wheel and the rear radiator part going on. The front radiator part going in, okay. Wheels going together. Looks like they're all one piece, which is good. Some of the flaps going in. Before we join the wheels, the flaps, the wheel bay covers, the prop going together, canopy, some aerials going on, okay, for the different ones, exhaust going in. Before then we've got the fuel tanks going on, and or depending on which one you're doing, the rocket is going in. We've then got the masking for the canopy and the wheels before we move on to the markings. So we've got Major Robert W. Moore from the CO of 45th Fighter Squadron, 15th Fighter Group 7 Air Force. We've got Captain Ulrich L. Bright for the 47th Fighter Squadron. We've got Major James B. Tapp he's the CO of the 78th Fighter Squadron. So we've got one of Major Tapp's aircraft from May 1945 and then summer 1945. Just probably main difference looking at it is the tail and the black markings on the wings and the tail. I can't really see any other difference apart from his kill markings. We've got then Lieutenant Robert Lowers and Lieutenant John E. Montgomery of the 46th Fighter Squadron, 21st Fighter Group. We've got Major Paul W. Ings, CO of 72 Fighter Group. Major Harry C. Krim, later Flight Officer CO Grucci, so different pilots. CO of 531 Fighter Squadron. Lieutenant William J. Hatland and Lieutenant Hinkle of the 457th Fighter Group, Fighter Squadron, should I say. Captain J.B. Baker, 458th Fighter Squadron of the 506th Fighter Group, 20th Air Force, July 45. Another July 45, Lieutenant William G. Ebersol and Lieutenant James R. Burkew, 462 Fighter Squadron, 506 Fighter Group. And then we move on to the stencils for the aircraft and what should be painted natural metal and what should be aluminium lacquer. So over the wings, as you can see, they were lacquered, they weren't bare metal. It was all the rest of it, it was bare metal. There's nothing really on the side. Then we've got different parts for this and the other 72nd ones. So let's have a look. So you can see up here, yes, we've got a non-filleted tail. Okay, and again, this one again is non-filleted. So let's get into the plastic. Now, these are all doubled up, so I'll only be going one out of each because there's no point in you showing you two different ones. So, let's see if we can do it without damaging anything. It might have been easier now just to take the one out, but look, I took both out, but we'll make do. So, main fuselage, wings and tails on this one. And again, we've got, as we now come to know with Eduard, we've got some really fine rivet detail. We've got some really nice panel lines. The tail fillets, you can actually see that we've got 3 different tails, so the 2 filleted ones and the unfilleted one on here. 2 different types of tail plane. And then on the wings, we've got parts that need to be riveted and parts that aren't riveted, because obviously these were all had filler over them into the panel lines. So you could even fill these actual panel lines themselves. A little bit of flash round the wingtip just here, and the same on the top. Just panel lines, no rivets whatsoever. And then the flaps, and again just a little bit of flash. Quick swipe of a sanding stick shouldn't be a problem. Next up, I'll just take the 2 out because, like I said, it'll be easier. So now we've got most of the internals. So we've got panels for the sidewalls, we've got the undercarriage bay, we've got the cockpit itself, tail wheel, armor plating for the back of the actual seat. We have exhausts, and again it's got some really nice detail all over on the panels, rivets in the footwells. Bear in mind that if I remember rightly, the cockpit floor was wood with a black rubber matting over the top painted on, and then these little bits in the center, they were metal. We have really nice rivet detail on the wheel wells all round. If I turn it over, yeah, some nice rivet detail inside. Some really fine rivets in the wheel well. I couldn't build this. This is far too small for me. We've got these panels for the going in the nose, grilled or not, and the props and all that sort of stuff. Really, really fine detail on this radio set back here. Look, if you can see it, and yeah, it's really nice. The next one is all the weapon sets and all that sort of stuff. So we have fuel tanks, we've got our rockets, not 2-piece, not 1-piece, but you've got the mounting brackets already on there, just have to put the tail fins on. Rudder pedals, control stick, propellers, and just other little bulkheads, and no, not bulkheads, they're probably pylons, not bulkheads, nullty. Rocket tubes as well, there and there, and parts for the actual underside gun parts, I believe those little bits over there. And the little inky little tail wheel. We'll only have a look at one clear part. Normally no issues with any of Eduard's clear parts, and same as normal here. So 2 canopies, okay, and lots of little lights and stuff like that, and the gun sight. Decals, well, these are from 2024, so quite recent. Reason I say that is because their own decals have been getting a lot better the newer they are. So I've recently built Eduard Spitfire and used all their decals, and I got on really well with them, so I can't see anybody having a problem with these. I did peel off the carrier film, but it's that thin that it will blend in really easy if you so wish to leave the film on. I just used some white tack, dabbing it on, and that helped pull the it up. But they look nice. Quite blocky, which is what you want. Not some have been a little bit sort of like washed out or not quite right, but these ones look dead on. They look really nice. And last but not least, we've got the masks and the photo etch. So we've got two sets of masks, and then we've got the photo etch. As you can see, we've got some the template parts here. The other one just there for putting on those panels. So that's Eduard's Tales of Iwojima. Okay, like I said, 2 kits in the one boxing, £25. So what's that? £12.50 each. You know, and my God, it's a stunning little model. Really is a stunning little model. I built one of their first 48 versions of the D when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it. I've actually got another one over there. I've got the Overlord dual boxing in 48, so I'm itching to crack on with that. But this one, for 70 seconds, you know, everybody's raising the bar now in 70 seconds. This is absolutely stunning. It really is. Anyway, that's it from me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.